What's up, y'all? How's it going? Hey, Sandy. Hey, Aaron. You said, hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day. New writers, comebacks, and casualties. I really need to get caught up. I won't stay too long. I don't want to spoil anything. Just wanted to say hi. Well, hello. And sweet, my microphone is working. That's good to know. I swear, I feel like I'm getting worse at this, you guys. How are we doing? Hey, Nathan. I am just, I'm relaxing. It was a fun day for me. I had the day off, and my friend from Ontario was in town, so we went for drinks. But we went early so that I could make sure I could come back for this, so. We went from about 2 p.m. till 7 p.m. Hey, Jacarius. I have been good. It's been a weird, but like a good week. If you guys didn't know, I put out my single on all streaming platforms this past Friday. So if you've listened to it, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, and like a bunch of other streaming things I've never heard of. So whatever you got, it's probably on there. But yeah, we are 7 episodes into the temporary writers. As you guys know, there is a writer's strike going on, and for soaps, they get writers to stand in that aren't a part of the guild, that are technically still allowed to write. We live streamed last Wednesday, and at that point, only Tuesday and Wednesday's episodes, were from those teams. So now we've got a few more under the belt, so we can kind of give, I guess, better thoughts, because we were only going by 2 episodes at that point. And honestly, like, I felt like those first 2 episodes really were really obviously done by newer writers. And same with most of the rest of last week, but so far this week I don't feel that way. It kind of feels the same, almost. But like with random things that you're like, huh? And not huh in a bad way, just like huh as in why do we need this? Hey, Angel. Today's episode was trash. Yeah, it wasn't great. But yeah, I did want to kind of touch base on the things that we've that have happened since last Wednesday. In the thumbnail of this video it says casualties, confessions, and comebacks. No one's died on GH. Well, I mean, no one important. Someone did die. It was a random character that we met once. You like the temp writers better? You're actually watching the show. Do y'all think Lulu should come back? Well, that's okay. So when I said comebacks, we'll get into that first because we might as well. Last week, I think it was last week, we saw Charlotte, who by the way is now being played by the original actress that played her. Again, interestingly enough, and Dante visit Lulu. We did not see Lulu. So it makes me wonder if Lulu's going to come back. No Lulu, I wish though. Yeah, we didn't get to see her, but with that said, some people might argue that when we have characters visiting a character that we haven't seen in a while, there's a chance that they might come back. The first thing I want to say to that is we seen the back of Laura's head for 4 years. just as a reminder, it doesn't always mean that. But one of the other anvils that could kind of hint that Lulu could come back is that today there was a brief moment, and like you could have missed it easily, but Sunny brought up Rocco to Sam and how he seems to adore her. And I think Sunny was like, but just so you know, you could never. And he didn't say anything beyond that. And Sam just said, I know. And I feel like they were insinuating that Rocco won't see her as a replacement for Lulu, kind of thing. So it's just interesting. Now, obviously, in the thumbnail, I have Emmy Rylan and Julie Berman's pictures on there. Y'all know who I would want. There's no question for me. I would love to see Julie Berman back in the role as Lulu. And I'm sure there are people that might want to see Emmy back in the role of Lulu. I feel like universally, most of us in this chat at least are Team Julie. But the thing is as well is that it could be a new actress playing her too. Julie seems very content with being a mom, and Emmy, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think Emmy would come back if they invited her back, but at the same time, they did kind of do her dirty. She seemed to be thrown for a loop that she was let go. So she could be bitter about that. And then the third factor is that there could just be a new actress playing her too, if Lulu comes back. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of recasts lately. Obviously, with Christina and Molly being two of them, and Molly's been recasted twice. What are y'all saying, by the way? They're still going off the outlines of Chris and Dan's plans up until the fall. That's when we'll see the official Scabs material. Yeah, but the day-to-day writing is new script writers too, though, right? So we shall see. We'll see. Like, the factor is, like, obviously the storylines, like, and I've even talked about it on streams previously. The storylines themselves are planned out for like over a year. So regardless of the writing team that's stepping in, they're really just continuing the day-to-day of what was planned out for however long this strike lasts, for a long time. And so, but the one thing that we do know is what was I going to say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Someone was trying to call me. The one thing that we do know is that we're going to be seeing a lot of what Dan and Chris had planned for the next little while, and we don't know how long it's going to end, but it's going to be a long time. And so what we're seeing right now is the change in perhaps the pacing of the storylines, how quickly things happen, the dialogue between the characters, and I think all of that is noticeable to an extent. There's definitely some things happening that you're like, okay, there's no way this would have come out this soon if it was under a different writing team. For instance, we've seen Ava tell Sunny the truth about Nicholas, about or what she believes to be true, that she killed Nicholas, that Mason has her, that they were forced to hire this nanny that's going to spy on Sunny, all of that. And Sunny has some sort of plan to basically bring the nanny down, or have the nanny essentially lead him to whoever the big bad is. And then on top of that, there is also Cody confessing to Dante what happened. So, like the full truth about what's going on with Selena Wu and with Gladys and how she's been gambling. He told him all of that when we've been pretty much begging for months for this to happen. Like, we wanted Cody to just tell the full truth. There was no reason for him not to do it, apart from, I guess, his involvement with Selena himself. But he clearly wants out of that too. So I'm just glad that things are starting to move along a lot more quickly. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying. Kaiwan, hey Kaiwan. You said this week has been great. I'm loving the writers. Sandy said if Lulu comes back, it should be Julie. I agree with you. It feels like days. Interesting take. I haven't seen Julie Berman in like years and anything. Yeah, she hasn't acted in a long time, but you know, her kids are getting older. At least her firstborn is. So you know, she might get the acting bug again. That's all I'm saying. Again, I have no inside knowledge. I just want Julie to come back. But you know. All right, Jakarius, you said I loved Julie's Lulu. So did I. Nathan, you said I wouldn't mind Julie Marie Berman's Lulu or Emmy Ryland's Lulu's return. I heard rumors that Hunter King from YNR, who played Summer, may play her. I don't know that actress. Let me look her up. Do you think she'd make a good Lulu? Because I never believe rumors, honestly. But let's see. You know, to me, she looks a little bit too young. Like, she's younger than I am, y'all. I'm older than this actress that is apparently rumored to be Lulu, or playing Lulu. Yeah, she looks too young to me, and she has a teenage daughter. She looks like a teenager. To me, anyway. Yeah, I don't... Sorry, there's a fly in my way. I don't know. I can't picture her being Lulu. She's too young. Angel, you said, I don't care who plays Lulu, just need a Lulu. It was stupid they put her in a coma when Dante came back. Yeah, I question that choice too, because to me... Oh, this fly won't leave me alone. I'm sorry, guys. To me, like, bringing Dante back meant that they would be, like, bringing Dante and Lulu back as a couple. It just felt very bizarre to me that they were bringing Dante back and ushering Lulu out the door, but it felt like that was such a sudden decision. Like, something happened behind the scenes that we're not privy to, that led to that decision. But I don't know. We weren't there. We don't know. But it did seem very odd. It's like the new replacements writers are into more drama. Angel, you said, I'm so happy Ava told the full truth to Sunny. I am too, because obviously this does involve their daughter being put in danger. And I'm glad that Ava can kind of... I'm glad that Ava knows Sunny well enough to know that he will handle this danger that is coming against her. And yeah, she had to sort of be vulnerable to Sunny in the sense that she had to confess that she killed Nicholas, even though we know that she didn't. And just let the cards fall where they do. I don't know how I feel about Carly prying so hard for both Ava and Sunny the last couple of episodes. Like, I mean, I know it's Carly, and if they were to tell her the truth, she'd be discreet about it, but like, she's not with Sunny anymore. She's not really Avery's mom. She's just close to Avery, that's all. So I don't, she doesn't really have a right to be in the know about how Sunny and Ava handle a situation that involves their daughter, in my opinion. Kaiwani said, Julie Berman, Boomer with Love, of my favorite. Sorry, I can't decipher that, Kaiwan. I'm so sorry. Jake, you said, no, for real. I didn't really mind Emmy too much, but I prefer Julie. I minded Emmy. To me, I don't even know. The version of Lulu we got with her made zero sense. It was like watching, like, Lulu go from, like, snipey and smart and, like, feisty to, like, housewife who's a bit of an airhead. And it was just... It was a jarring difference to me. And also, like, we were really spoiled with Julie. Like, Julie could go toe-to-toe with Jeannie Francis, with Tony Geary, with Jonathan Jackson. The Spencer family, essentially, the casting for them was always golden. Like, they struck gold with the siblings and and Jeannie and Tony and Tyler too. Like, just to add Tyler Christopher into the mix, like all of those actors, Jonathan, Jeannie, Tony, Julie, and Jonathan are hard to follow. Greg did an okay job as Lucky. The Nicholases that we've seen, I feel didn't do a bad job, but they, to me, still don't hold a candle to what Tyler did with the character. And yeah, I don't know. I just think that whenever I watched Jeannie and Julie act off of each other, it was always magical to me. And of course, Tony and Jeannie, they had their chemistry too. And Julie, she had chemistry with everyone that she acted with. There was never a couple that she was in that I didn't like. There was never the friendships that Julie's Lulu made with certain characters were always fun for me to watch. So, I don't know. I just don't know. Hunter King is like another Emmy. No thanks. No bite. Then yeah, no thanks. It was something to do with it seems. If you're referring to like why the character Lulu was like randomly ushered out the door, for some reason, were there not rumors at the time about the budget and like there being like a bit of an emergency where they had to like cut the dead weight, so they did this like big explosion, so they let go of Lulu, Dustin, and the young teenager that was kind of mixing and mingling with Joss and Trina and Cameron. Child That Fly wants its 15 minutes of fame. It sure does. Lulu is a must-have as of now, especially her daughter needs her mom. I mean, the thing is, we don't see Charlotte that much. So while I think that the scenes between Charlotte and Coma Lulu were like sweet to watch, and it was nice to see her get to do something serious, because that actress that plays Lulu's daughter, like, she's never really had very serious things to do on screen. I think her character on Young and the Restless was more that's what I think about to leave early characters on Young and the Restless was... Sorry, I can't decipher that either. Dev, thank you, Timothy. Angel, you said they are making Avery come to Carly's house, and she can tell something is up with the babysitter. I don't blame Carly for wondering. They just changed the writing for Lulu when they picked Emmy. Yeah, that was the big issue for me, and I think I probably said it at the time, or I've said it over the years several times. I don't think that it's the writer's job to play to the actress's strengths. I think that the show needs to hire an actress that can play the part that was originally made. When they change a character so much with the actress that plays them, it is noticeable, and it frustrates the people that have grown up with the character. Julie's Lulu was on in 2005, and that's around the time I was starting to watch religiously. I started watching religiously during the Trainwreck storyline where she appeared, because she made her first appearance at Lucky and Elizabeth's wedding right before the Trainwreck. So, I have a lot of love for Lulu, and I have an expectation that they're gonna write her true to character, regardless who plays her, and they did not do that when Emmy came into the role. Nathan, you said, once Lulu wakes up, I need her and Dante to go off into the sunset. I don't trust the show to do them right as a pairing for whatever reasons. They're not doing a whole lot of character couples with the writing right now, which is unfortunate. Okay, so we talked about comebacks, which was Lulu's possible comeback. The confessions, we talked about both of those, Ava and Sunny and Cody's. Now, when I refer to Casualties on GH. I'm only really referring to the writing being bad for the characters that were already kind of going through it. So like, obviously with Sasha, they had to write her off, and I think that the writers had to continue. The temporary writers had to continue with what Chris and Dan intended. It was just really hard to watch Sasha, thinking she's going crazy and trying to like call out that doctor, only to be told by the doctor and Gladys, that she's wrong, and that she imagined the whole thing. Like, she imagined that her friends believed she was getting better, and then Gladys blocking Maxie from going in, the doctor drugging her. I could not physically watch that scene. I had to look away. That's how mad I was, man. Like, when Sophia Madsen comes back, they need to address the hell out of this entire story. They need her to come back and just already know what happened and to take them down. Like, that's what I need to see. And now, obviously, in the thumbnail as well, I show Cyrus. The writing is so bizarre to me for him right now, the last week or so. Because I think we did manage to talk a little bit about it on Wednesday last week. I said, like, Cyrus looks genuinely scared of these guys that were attacking him. And then, of course, they're still like pushing the whole religious thing with the character too. And then he randomly has a heart attack, which seemed very random. And I'm assuming that it was meant to be like a character really having a reckoning moment, or like an aha moment where we could finally see if it was true or not. And then this episode today, he's in the hospital and he wants to give away all his money so he can help people in the prison. But at the same time, the way he was speaking to Marty, it just made it seem like it was false. So I'm just really confused. Like, what are they doing with this character? What is the goal with Cyrus Renault right now? I just don't get it. So it's like a casualty of like inconsistency with Cyrus. I don't understand. Yeah, kind of like what happened last year, and now this is more dramatic, more great. What happened that they will get away. Jake, you said they can't leave well enough alone when it comes to Sasha. She was doing so good. Yeah, what I do appreciate is that there are characters being like, this does not make sense. She was good. She was smiling. She seemed mentally sound. This happened out of nowhere. I'm glad that everyone kind of sees that. Sam and Don, or, Sam for sure seen it. Cody obviously knows it. Maxie even said something, I think today's episode as well. So, if not yesterday's, a recent episode. Everyone finds this suspicious. So I hope that Sam and Cody just buckle down and find the proof of what Gladys and this doctor did. Turn the light. What happened with Tracy? Retired. What happened to Shiloh? Oh, but speaking of Tracy, though, I wasn't really going to touch base on it, but we might as well. Tracy noticed now twice that there's something off with Chase and Finn's dad, Gregory, and I don't know where they're going with it. And like, they had Tracy and Gregory going to a casual dinner. Are they trying to put them together? I don't personally see the chemistry. But yeah, like I don't know. I don't get it. There's certain characters where I don't get where they're going with it. But it is the first week, the first full week of this writing team, and I'm sure there's going to be little glitches here while they kind of take over Chris and Dan's work. But I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be weird for a bit. Maybe Cyrus will help her out. Help Gladys out, or help Tracy out? Or help Sasha out? Because Sasha's in Ferncliff, right? She's not in Pentonville. Gladys needs to be in the... Oh, yeah. Gladys needs to be in the Pine Barrens. I mean, she just needs to be ran out of town and never come back. I don't need the character killed, but there needs to be consequences. And really, if... You know, what she's doing, there's got to be, like, an illegal factor. So she might end up just doing jail time. Which I'd be okay with, too. She would deserve it. Because right now, Sasha is sitting in Ferncliff, which is a jail for the criminally insane. All because Gladys had a debt to pay off at a casino, at a card game, essentially. Like, man... What is the doctor getting from drugging Sasha? I mean, I think he's intending on taking advantage of Gladys in some way, because now he has something on her. Yeah, he's put at risk too, but I think that Gladys might have something that he wants. And this is just my theory, but it wouldn't surprise me if this doctor has ties to either whoever is shooting at Anna or whoever is shooting at Sonny or Pikeman. He's connected in some way. There's something sinister going on with that doctor. Come on, you said... Oh, you think Silas? Oh, Cyrus will help Sasha. I mean... That would certainly be a trip, because, you know, what Cyrus did to Sasha in the first place. He's the one that got her addicted to drugs. He was the one that directly caused her to have a heart attack with the drugs that he was providing her. And you said, yeah, I think she'll go to jail, but she would be in Shady Brook because he needs help, because she's a gambling addict. I mean, she'll do jail time. I don't think she'd end up at Shady Brook, like, because Shady Brook is more of like a sanitarium, right? Gladys isn't crazy. She just needs rehab. But if anything, from the sounds of it, Cyrus is going to end up helping Gladys once she gets thrown in there. By getting her the help she needs with the money that Marty's going to supposedly use in Pentonville. That fly will not leave me alone, y'all. It's going to drive me nuts. Okay. Oh, you think that's the doctor that has Nicholas? Or also works with the person that has Nicholas, I mean? That's possible. I'd buy that. Alright. Well, in terms of what I was going to talk about, that was pretty much it. But we can talk about anything that's happened during the week so far. What do you guys think? I'm trying to go through, just in my head, things that were interesting to me in the last 5 episodes since we've last talked. But I think we kind of touched on a lot of it. Hi, SLJ. No worries. But let's see. We had the current Molly's first interactions with TJ this week. I think yesterday. I don't know how I feel about it. You know, they don't not have chemistry, but it's just, I don't know. It's just jarring. It's just a little bit jarring, but I think I can get used to her being Molly. I know some of y'all have issues with her, but I don't mind her that much. And I think that Christina, the actress that plays her is doing a decent job as well. It was interesting having her have like a scene with Trish, like the lady that works at the Metro Court. Not the best actress, but she is kind of a glorified extra, so it is what it is. But it scenes like that where I'm like, okay, this is how you can tell this is a different writing team, because we wouldn't see Christina having that moment with a random character about her youth shelter that she's building. Like that conversation wouldn't have been seen at all. But it also felt like fluff. And same with the Cyrus stuff. Like, what was the point of Cyrus having a heart attack and having those scenes in a jail cell with like Laura's aura, as he called it today? It just seemed pointless. It seems like there's a lot of fluff that might be dragging out certain storylines, perhaps. We'll see. How about Drew's dumb kung fu moves? Man, I think the funniest thing about that scene was they used actual sound effects during the fight. Like we heard the like we heard that in the scene. I was laughing so hard. It was so dumb. One Life. You always compare it to One Life. I don't know. We've seen scenes like this on GH before, so it's not even without these writers. It just seemed random for Cyrus to have that, because he's not really. It's not. He's an important character, but he's not that important, and that's probably also why it wasn't like a full episode like some other characters have had when they're on death's door. Christina recast is great. Molly recast Child. I really don't mind her. I know you hate her, Angel. I don't know. I will say this. I do prefer the actress that they had temporarily playing her before her to her. But the time is still young, and I also think that she's a really great actress. I really actually enjoyed the scenes between her and Christina. Towards the end of last week when she found Molly's little stuffed animal toy and they had like a moment between each other. I think that the actresses play well off of each other, which was nice to see. I think that the heart attack proved Cyrus actually changed. I mean, did it though? Because he seemed like, I don't know. It's just what happened after was fishy to me, Angel. Like the way that he was acting towards Marty, like almost like acting like he was superior and like he was pulling his leg and enjoying it. So I don't know. I'm not convinced, but it felt like maybe like it felt like that scene of the hallucination in the jail cell with Laura should have led to it like kind of being obvious that he is a changed man. But then just the way he acted once he ended up in the hospital just like turned that opinion on a dime for me. Nathan said whoever choreographed that scene should be ashamed of himself. Billy Miller wouldn't survive those scenes, or if he was still there. Brooklyn, you said Billy Miller was a better fighter than this Drew. That's true. How many times did we see Billy Miller's Drew like beat the crap out of Nicholas? Drew remembers his Navy SEAL training, but he doesn't remember his life passport, Charles. Exactly. There's so many. Well, I guess certain things, it's like riding a bike, right? I mean, I'm no medical expert, but like people that lose their memory, like they don't forget how to speak English. They don't forget how to ride a bike. They don't forget how to do certain things. They just don't remember details about their life. So, like, that could be argued in that sense, but I don't know. The writing for Drew has always been a mess. Mainly because the character was never should have existed. The only reason why Drew exists at all is because Steve Burton wanted to come back to the show, and then Steve Burton is not even on the show anymore. So, you know, I feel like they felt bad for Billy Miller, so they tried to give this character Drew, you know, to keep them both on. But then they just ushered him out because it wasn't working. you could just tell that they did not want to write for Drew. They just like were trying to lessen the blow and slowly but surely let Billy Miller go. But the choice to bring Drew back was interesting. They didn't really have to do it, but I guess it made sense that he was being held by, you know, Victor Cassadine and Peter August. But regardless, I don't know. It's just frustrating. Billy Miller can throw hands. I mean, that's the thing. He's like, they don't explain whether or not Drew still has just Jason's memories and can still remember things of Jason's past either. He's in this weird state of purgatory, the character. And I don't think the writers know how to get him out of that. Nathan, you said he is not a reformed man. He can say whatever he wants, but they are not making him a good person. Yeah, like, that's to me, like, that's how I feel, Nathan. Like, this religion thing has always seemed like stupid. The only thing is that I do think that obviously Cyrus felt more vulnerable for reasons that I don't think we're aware of yet. Because Cyrus seemed to be running the prison at one point, right? Like, most times where we saw him in prison interacting with Spencer in the past, or anyone that was in Pentonville when Jeff Kober would make his appearances, like, he seemed to be running the joint. He seemed to be connected, and now all of a sudden these random goons are attacking him. And at first, the first time it happened, I could maybe buy, like, oh, maybe these guys were hired to, like, by Cyrus to try to convince Drew to help him out. But at the same time, the second time around, Drew wasn't even around when they started harassing him. So, I don't know. Knowing medical info isn't muscle memory. I wish it was, though. If only. Spencer and who are almost the same character? You can only really run in prison until you have drugs and stuff to run prisons and shower. I don't know. I just wonder what happened? Why is Cyrus suddenly not top dog? You think Oscar and Spencer are almost the same character? Oscar was boring as hell, dude. Oh, man. Spencer has edge, at least. Alright, what else can we talk about? How do we feel about Carleo and Kelly's? I think we touched base on it a little bit. Frank Valentini posted that Kelly's is getting a makeover, and I don't know how to feel about that, because Kelly's got a makeover within the last 10 years, and it was a pretty decent one that kept to the consistent look of Kelly's that we always have known. And given how, like, the the set designs have changed so drastically in the last couple of years. I'm really worried as to what Kelly's will look like after this apparent makeover that's happening. I'll be so pissed if it's worse. And I feel like they're gonna modernize it because Carly owns it. She's gonna bring that bowl of moss too, probably. Hope we can get the truth on what Nina did while we had the temp writers. Well, I feel like that might be a little less in their control, only because the reveal can't really happen until Drew is out of prison, I don't think. Or I mean, I suppose it could, but I think that the writers would probably want Drew to be a part of it, and I'm assuming Cameron Matheson's still shooting that movie. Although can he right now because of the actor strike, and that's what the movie that he's supposedly shooting, that would be away from soap. So I don't know how any of that works. Brooklyn, you said, I think Pikeman's guys are blackmailing Cyrus, or else Laura will definitely pay. Interesting. Maybe. That's a good theory. Also, and I feel like I missed it a little bit, but it seems like Cyrus knows of Austin's connections, because we've seen Austin and Cyrus interact today, and he seems to know something about his family. The Q mansion is mostly set in the kitchen now, or dining room, whatever it is. And it's so funny how we used to go from never seeing kitchens and like dining rooms on GH, and now that's where everyone hangs out all of a sudden. And it's like, it's so bizarre to me. Like, the kitchen in Carly's house looks so vastly different from the rest of the house, and then like everyone uses the back door for the kitchen to enter the house too, which makes even less sense. And then the kitchen at the Q's house looks so cheap considering it's supposed to be in this huge mansion. We got another Monica mention. Yes, we did. Monica turning Tracy down on her dinner reservations, or having to skip out on it. Like, if we can't get Leslie, it's nice to know that Monica is still around town at least. But at some point, they're going to have to address whatever is going on and do something with the character. Even have her move out of, move to, like, wherever to retire. Although, and I don't know if it's going to happen. Obviously, at some point, we're going to have to get Bobby's, the announcement that Bobby is dead. And I would think that Leslie Charleston would want to be physically there to pay tribute to her friend. And also, Monica and Bobby were close as well. So, do you know what's up with Leslie Charleston? I wish I did. Nobody seems to know. I think it must be a health thing. But nobody seems to know, and or at least no one's sharing what's going on with her. I was glad that they actually utilized her voice in Epiphany's tribute episode. Last week we learned Bobby was in the Netherlands. Yeah, is she not in Amsterdam for something relating to Luke, right? So they've given her a way to be off screen, but they also need to establish they're not gonna not kill Bobby off and not give Jackie's even a tribute. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, when you compare her to Epiphany, as beloved as she was only on for the last 20 years, and then whereas Jackie has been on since the 70s. There's no way in hell they're not gonna kill off the character and do a tribute episode for her. Leslie did pay Jackie a tribute on her Facebook page. But yeah, but that's just like real life. I just think that she'd want to be a part of the episode where they've worked together, on the show that they work together for as long as they have. You know what I mean? I didn't know Leslie Charleston. Is it actually her page, or is it just a fan page, or what's the situation? Because you would think that Leslie, like, if that's her own Facebook page, would she not, like, explain to her fans where she's been? I'm going to her Facebook page right now. So she said, "We had a lot of fun times together. I will miss you, my dear friend." Hold on, filter out. I can only filter by the year. That's the only post that she's made since the character of Monica was recast that one time. Doesn't look like a fan page. Well, fan page or not, she clearly hasn't utilized this page at all for like over a year. Like March 2022 was the last that she posted, which again was when someone stepped in to play her character, and she said that she'll be back, but she never came back. And then yeah, the post when Jackie Zeman died. I don't know. It's just, I feel like she's got to know that if this page is actually run by Leslie, then she's got to know that her fans are wondering what is going on. And I feel like she would be kind enough to let people in on, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it is her life and she has the right to privacy, but I think that it's very obvious that GH fans are genuinely concerned for Leslie's well-being. All right, what else can I discuss? Because we're almost at an hour, but you know, like 15 more minutes, give or take. Let me know if there's anything else. Oh, you guys are chasing Finn's daddy, making Tracy smile. Yeah, that was an interesting scene. I don't see the chemistry between them though. I really don't. I do feel like Tracy's going to figure it out, though, and she's going to go straight to Finn with it, and it's going to make Gregory more pissed because he keeps saying, I want to give my boys, enough time left to not have to think about, this disease when they look at me, is what he was saying to Alexis when she confronted him about Tracy calling her. And Alexis is right. Like, clearly, the condition's getting worse. They know it's not going to get any better. So, he can only hide this for so much longer. And I think Tracy's just going to spill the beans before Gregory is ready. And I'm sure Tracy's going to go to Finn, even with what little she already knows. You know what I mean? I'm actually surprised that she called Alexis instead of Finn as well. That surprised me. Sorry if I'm staring into space. It's only because I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to bring up GH wise. I'm just kind of racking my brain from the episodes this past week. I did not enjoy today's scenes with Eddie Main. knowing that he's going off being a rock star, and I'm I laughed at Olivia calling him a grandpa because obviously, listen, y'all, me at 30 can barely party like I used to when I was 18. The Ned is like 50 years past that golden era for himself. You know what I mean? Well, 40 years past. Will Ava's babysitter end up being the woman Austin's boss lady? I don't think so. She seems very much like, like a pawn in a chess game. She's someone else's pawn, but I don't think she's Austin's boss. It's funny that Jocelyn like automatically didn't like her, even though she, like to me at the time, like obviously she was being a bit snarky and like, oh, like I'm not aware of Avery having an older sister kind of thing. But I don't know. I feel like that was hardly a reason to be as sort of quick with her as Joss was. The babysitter and Jocelyn's interaction. Oh man. Clearly though, Dex is not discreet. Trina noticed him spying on the nanny and brought it up to Jocelyn. Elizabeth caught him lurking around in the shadows. Chase is now aware that, Dex was lurking around the hospital. I'm sure Sonny will rip him a new one for it. Hey Albert, how you doing? Albert, I haven't been able to watch your streams lately. Just quickly summarize, what's your take on the temporary writers thus far? Because I'm curious. Jakey said, like, ma'am, excuse me. The whole Eddie Main thing is annoying. Yes, it is. The only reason... if they don't bring Lois back for the storyline, there is no point to this whatsoever. Other than to drag out the Nina stuff. Like, at least start giving this man some memory flashes or something. I do think that in the end, because clearly they're writing like a nice relationship between Eddie Main and Leo, and I think Leo's going to be the key that gets his memory back in some kind of way down the road. I don't have faith that down the road isn't a short drive, but it's lacking the new temporary writers. You think so? I think the first couple episodes, in my opinion, were very, very obvious that there was a switch, and then since then I haven't been that impressed. I'm kind of with you there. Like, there's definitely things that are glitchy, and I think that's just to be expected until the further down the line that we get. So I'm holding out a bit of hope. For me though, Albert, I do like how quick certain reveals happened as soon as these writers took over. Like Ava telling Sonny the truth and Cody telling Dante the truth. So those things I appreciated. He'll get his memory back in time for Sonny and Nina's wedding. Oh, probably. Albert, you said they feel like they don't know the characters because they don't. Yeah, that's true. That's also true. And I talked about it earlier in the live stream too. Like, it seems like they don't really know where to go with Cyrus. because it's like it seems wishy-washy, the religious thing, and then he has this purgatory moment, and then he suddenly starts snarping with Marty. Like it's very inconsistent. But there's, right now there's not really much character-driven plot yet. So I'll hold my full-on judgment until a little bit down the line. But again, I'm also hoping in some ways that this writer strike ends soon so that, everyone can get their well-deserved pay raises, and the show can just kind of continue where it left off. Not that it was great, it wasn't in a great place with Den and Chris the last few months. It's been a very lackluster 60th anniversary year. SLJ, you said, I had no idea who Austin's boss is. What do you think about Cassandra? Is Cassandra still alive? I forget where she is at this point. Like, I know that I think there was some weird thing with Valentine, wasn't there? I've just forgotten after all this time. I'm still wondering where Claudette is. Valentine's just held her hostage and no one cares. Ava getting smacked in the face wasn't cool. No. But I think that's what ultimately pushed Ava to, like, be desperate enough to go to Sunny. This woman does not care about my daughter. She's horrible, and I can't have her around my daughter. Desperate times, desperate measures. I gotta tell Sunny the truth. Even though he did have to kind of pry it out of her. But I think she was relieved. I think Cassandra's dead. That's what I thought. I thought she might have died. And she wasn't that thrilling of a character anyway. I'd rather have someone, even if it's a new character, which it might be. I think that, I don't know. They gotta make this character a tough cookie. Whoever they are. People are still so mad about Betty sagging Ava. Yet she treated her daughter like garbage, but okay. I don't get why people are mad at that. I don't understand that. Like, why? It's a slap. Slaps happen on soaps all the time. Oh, you think that she was in a coma? That kind of sounds familiar to me. Nathan said, I'd rather not have Chris and Dan back once the writer's strike ends. They're the reason why GH is the mess that it is. It's currently in for no reason. At least the Scab writers are trying to shake things up. I mean, maybe, but we don't know how familiar the Scab writers are with the show either. So it could just simply be, like Albert said, they don't know the characters, and so we're getting a bit of a weird vibe right now. But I don't know. So far, I just appreciate that they told that those reveals happened as fast as they did. So they got 2 decent check marks on my end so far. But the time is still young. What do I think about the Mason character? I have no use for him, Albert. I really don't. I don't care about this Austin storyline. I don't care about Mason. It's all dumb to me. It's so dumb. I have no use. Austin and Mason could disappear and never be seen again on the show, and I wouldn't question it. I wouldn't ask where they were. I wouldn't care where they were. If it all ended right now, I'd be like, all right, anyway. Like, that's what my reaction would be. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Curtis being paralyzed. Hey Derek, by the way. I don't know. I mean, it's certainly a turn for the character. Like, personally, I would have loved to see Curtis kind of be recruited by the WSB, but that's not going to happen anymore. I don't know. Maybe, I think this story has at least potential to really give what was I gonna say? To give the actor that plays Curtis, Donnell Turner, a chance to show his acting chops. Because I think that he's a good actor, but we've never really seen him really get meaty material, and this could potentially give him meaty material. And so, as someone that enjoys getting to see actors shine that way, I'm intrigued to see if he can pull off pulling on my heartstrings. Good night, Albert. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. It's certainly a wrench in the plot for the character. I hope that we get to see. I mean, I think Finn helped Curtis realize that he shouldn't push his family away, and I want to see a lot of him and Trina interacting. Curtis and Portia's relationship, I don't really care where it goes at the moment. But Curtis and Trina, I want to see kind of flourish within the storyline. And I think we're seeing Curtis and Stella tomorrow. I hope we get to see him be vulnerable with Stella, because if there's anyone in his family that he can probably be vulnerable towards, it's her. You know, like, that is his family. He's known her his entire life. So I really hope that tomorrow's episode we get to see a really, really vulnerable, sad, devastated Curtis open up to Stella. All right, y'all. But I should end this this live stream in a minute. Before I go, I just want to say thank you again. If you guys listen to my single Madness on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you guys listen to music, I truly appreciate it. It's been, and sorry for kind of switching the subject, but I feel like we should talk about it. It's been weird having a single out in like an official capacity, because y'all know, and some of you guys do listen to the music that I post on YouTube, but those are just like demos that I record right here, right where I'm sitting. This is where I record those YouTube demos that you guys hear, whereas Madness was recorded in a studio, and quite literally I record my songs that you hear with the very microphone that I use for these live streams. So, it's by no means professional. But yeah, it was great getting to see a lot of love, and like one thing that surprised me was the love that I got from other musicians in town. Like, I know that a lot of them are my friends, but I didn't expect them to post it on their own band pages and stuff. So it's done my heart some good, especially, you guys know I've been going through it mentally since I've lost my dog, and there's been a lot of sadness that I've experienced, and this is the first week where I've had so much overwhelming joy that I'm starting to feel like myself again. And obviously there's still moments of sadness that I get, especially at night still. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to just like move past all the sadness. But I just want to say it's nice to feel happy about something again, which is nice. Brooklyn, you said, I still think that Miss Wu messed with the paternity test and Curtis is not Trina's father. I actually think that too still. But since the characters don't know, I do want to see them flourish in a relationship. And we know that Taggart is becoming an alcoholic over this. So Curtis is going to lose Trina all over again anyway. But I feel like this story, because it's so fresh, isn't gonna be revealed until probably a couple years down the line, honestly. All right, but yes, just quickly going back on the single and stuff. The next step is to put together a show. So that's my next goal. And in my head for a little bit, I'm thinking like my first few shows were going to be solo and, just have the backtracks and I'll just sing live to it in front of wherever I end up doing a show. But I've already had friends like, hey, asking me like, have you got your band together? And like other friends offering to be in the band. And I'm like, I gotta create a set for like a set of songs first. So yeah, I'm excited to take on this new chapter with my music. Could it potentially affect these live streams? Maybe a little bit, but not more than what I've been going through has. Like obviously I've missed a few Sundays here and there, and I've missed a few Wednesdays here and there. But I think the most damage it could potentially do is creating a situation where I might do one live stream a week permanently instead of two. But but for the record, that's still majorly down the line, okay? Like, I actually will be live streaming this Sunday, so Sundays will be back this weekend. I'm enjoying the show enough that I feel like recapping it again. So that'll be a thing again, and then we can really go into full-on discussions about all the details of the show that I miss in these kind of casual live streams that we do on the Wednesdays. So yeah, tune in this Sunday for an actual GH or General Hospital after show. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the live stream here. I'm getting pretty tired. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning into the live stream week after week. Thank you for your patience and understanding with what I've been going through. I'm on an emotional roller coaster right now, and it's nice that this is a week where I'm feeling very happy and energized and just stoked for the future, where it felt pretty bleak for a little while. Aw, thank you, Brooklyn. I appreciate that. And thank you, SLJ. But yeah, have a good night, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you guys this Sunday. If you liked the live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Oh, I forgot. I can't end it like that anymore. Just with a snap of the hand. The throwback to the old videos. Oh, and thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. Here's hoping for a bright future. Mwah. Good night, guys.